Good morning, you guys. Today we are going to basically talk about staying the course when things aren't going totally as planned. So, I have definitely not had the start to the new year that I wanted, and I think a lot of people set out new goals at the start of the year. I personally like to set goals and do set goals throughout the entire year, and it's kind of just a continual progression. What I tend to use the new year for is kind of like opening to the next page and the next chapter and having a blank space. You're still taking some of the goals you had and some of the goals you had moving forward, but you just kind of have like a blank slate kind of thing, which is really nice. But January 100% did not go as planned for me. If you guys have been following along with me, you guys definitely know that I am planning to knock off a big 50K run for myself, which is the longest that I've done yet. So I've been training for that. I kind of used about November, December as kind of like a base aerobic building period, and was really planning on getting into like more specific training towards that here in January. But where I've actually ended up is I have been out for this many runs. Two runs. One was a um, 10K, I think, 10 or 12K. And then the other one, I think I did time, and it was an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes. So that's all I've got in. And you just have to remember to stay the course. Sometimes we get derailed from our goals a little bit, but because the nature of the goals I tend to set out are like not necessarily I need to get to this point, but I need to trend in this direction. In the end, I haven't even picked a date for that 50K run. I just said sometime this like late summer, early fall, knock off a 50K run. I'm probably not going to do it as like a sanctioned event. I may if I am like in an area and there's availability to jump in on one of those, but I'm more just gonna go out probably and do it for myself one day. Be like, hey, today's the day. Go out, knock out that big run. And that's kind of the plan for the year and kind of what's like driving that goal and that fitness side for me right now. But part of traveling is and like life, I guess, in general, is being flexible and adaptable to the situation. So, uh, November was, or sorry, January was pretty much like plagued with getting sick for me. So I had a stomach bug of some sorts from I think it was unpasteurized dairy. I don't do a whole bunch of dairy in general, and then unpasteurized dairy, just something that my body's not super used to. I think that's what it was. I'm not positive still. But anyways, had probably a week of like stomach really not doing well. Definitely dropped some weight as a result of that, and then like felt better for literally a day and then got sick again. You guys can still hear maybe just a little bit of raspiness in my voice and a bit of congestion in the nose. So just getting past that. And personally, in my opinion, when you're sick, I feel like you shouldn't be training very hard. I've definitely still done some walking, done some light training, some movement based stuff, but nothing of too high of intensity because your body's still fighting something off. You don't want to add too much extra stress to that. So I've definitely had a pretty chill month as far as training goes towards like training for that big run, but that's okay. In the end, I'm still planning for like quite a long training period, right? So I just need to make some small adjustments to it and make sure I'm dialed in the coming months, and hopefully I'll be behind any of the sickness and moving forward, right? So when you get derailed, it's important to realize that like you can either take that and say, "Oh, I missed my training basically for January," throw the whole thing out the window, or you can say, "Okay, it happened. Like, how do I move forward from here? What adjustments do I make? How do I get back on track and continue to move forward towards the goals that I want to reach?" So that's what I'm going to do is just continue to move forward from this. If I get sick again, I get sick again. You just kind of roll with the punches of things are always going to come up in life. And I really try and like preach that and help people with that is that like we can set out this perfect plan of nutrition, exercise, how you're going to manage your stress and your sleep and all of those things. But the reality is life exists, and most of the time we're not going to be able to complete that all of the time. So it's about being able to like make modifications to that and adapt to that. So like you suddenly get sick or you're going on a trip to Mexico or you have friends in town. It's like how do you adapt to that? And then once that time period passes and you can be dialed in again, really refocus back in on that and be tracking in the right direction again. So that's kind of like my recap of January. I'm going to be here in Cuenca for a little bit longer. I'm here for another 3 weeks. And then I'm going to be moving on. I will try and get a video out to you guys showing you some of the cool stuff around Cuenca, and then surprise you guys with where I'm going next. I don't think you'll be expecting it. It's definitely a little bit of an off the radar place, but I think it's going to be super, super cool. So yeah, that's what I got for you, kind of wrapping up the month of January. Just remember, like, set out your goals, but realize, like, just move towards that goal. You don't have to get too bummed out if you get sidetracked a little bit, if you get sick, something like that. Just continue to get back on and moving towards that goal again. That's what I got for you. If you like this video, hit the little like button, subscribe so that you can catch some more of this stuff.